Hey guys, welcome back to iNVision Prototypes. I'm Nick. Today we're going to be creating a ceiling liner for this hot rod. Now, you're probably yelling at your TV saying, "Hey Nick, stop, stop. Ceiling liner goes on the inside, not the outside." I can't hear you, so I'm just going to keep going. And what I'm doing is outlining a perimeter that the fiberglass matting and resin can't go beyond. You see a border. Like most people, I'm here grounded on earth, and I realize that I can't fight gravity. So to lay matting up over my head and then try to get resin to kind of stick up there, it's just not going to work. So I'm going to use gravity along with a roll of tape and a lot of aluminum foil to my advantage. And we're going to create a ceiling liner on the exterior. And then I'll show you how we make it work on the interior. So I'm going to use this aluminum foil as a barrier and release agent between the fiberglass matting and the steel roof. I don't want the roof to get dirty with resin, and I want to be able to pop this ceiling liner off easily. So this is a nice quick solution to get that done. Done it before, works great. Just got to seal up all the joints, lay it out, and then later on should pop off, fingers crossed, without too much trouble. And hopefully we don't bring down any satellites in the process. A little bit short on that corner, not a problem. Take care of that. This is a quick and easy way to ensure that the roof stays clean and that we can separate it later on. Worst feeling in the world is trying to separate a part from a mold and it doesn't want to come apart. This will all flatten out later on. Get the matting up on top, lay it out, and then just the material will just lay down nice and flat. So later on, would you go ahead and cut the green tape with the razor blade, and this whole thing will peel off the roof. Hopefully. It's worked in the past, so I don't see why it shouldn't work again. Just want to make sure we don't have any holes anywhere for resin to leak into. Good, good. Okay, so the front is all taped up. Make sure all these joints are stuck well. Like that. And we just gotta finish off the back corner. Back here, I might need that piece. We'll see. Doesn't cut too well. Tears well though, especially where you don't want it to tear. There we go. Whoa, that wasn't good. Let's get rid of that little tail. All we do is just cut that green tape and this thing should just come right off. Just making sure we have no holes anywhere because I don't want to get any leaks. It's good there. And I've got the fiberglass matting already prepared for the top. All the links have been cut. So it's just a matter of laying it out on top of this and then get the resin mixed up and start wetting it out. I work with sheet metal. I guess aluminum is a form of metal, so this makes sense to me. In terms of release agent, this seems to work quite well, keeps things clean, and yeah. So let's get the matting laid out on top, at least the first layer, and start wetting it out. Just pre-stretching these corners a little bit, kind of ripping up the matting a bit, just so it lays down comfortably. We don't want any peaks in this, and we want all the bubbles to get out, so we don't want any high spots. That's good there. I got to pull that down, make sure that we're covering enough over there, and that's going to be the first layer. Okay, that's good length right there. Come back, perfect. This is why I don't like fiberglass matting, right there. Now, I'll be getting a respirator on when we start mixing up the resin, but for now, we'll just keep going this way. Okay, so that's going to be for this corner, and he's going to be for those corners over there. You want to prepare everything first. At least that's what I'm told. Okay. Lays down quite nicely right there, but that could seems to stay put. I'm not going to worry about this corner because, well, it'll be trimmed off on the inside anyway. And, oops, see, shouldn't have done that. So that's kind of going to hold it for us. I can remove that corner a bit like that. And we're just going to start wetting this out and laying the pieces in without getting too dirty. Don't want that to fall. Okay, so we're gonna go 2 layers on this as well. So I've got the second layer already prepared, at least the main sections. The little ones will tear up and get them overlaid in these areas. And you can see a little bit of aluminum showing through there. So once I get a little piece, I'll just plop it in. Aside from that, I keep doing that, jeez. There, covered up that spot almost. And that's gonna be good right there. So we'll leave that alone. So as they say, let the games begin. Okay, first layer down. Now for the next one.
A few pieces left over. Wow. Getting warm. Exothermic reaction. So it's starting to kick off right now, and the fumes are starting to get to the room. We'll roll all this out afterwards. Just want to get the resin down. I'm on limited time. Almost there, guys. 2/3 done. So you can see the green tape, and I know that's the edge, so I don't have to keep pushing resin over the edge. When this kicks off, it really starts to stink. A lot like primers, any form of epoxy. So you make sure you got your respirator on. A little bit more. Ooh, that's a bit much. Spread it out a bit. And dab, dab, dab. You're pushing it down inside. You don't want it too wet, where there's like puddles, but you want enough to soak through both layers. And then we'll roll all this out and get all rid of the air bubbles. Look, I'm doing fiberglass. It's gonna be close. Got a little bit left in the bottom. I have about 6 inches left over here. Will it do it? Will I have enough? I'm in suspense. And I think we got enough. All right, that's fine there. Let's roll this out. Here, where do I put this? Good old English wheel. Hup. It's coming out really good, I think. Good. Not good. Keep the roller clean, it seems to do a better job. I think that's going to be it. I don't see any more little bubbles. Looks pretty flat. A little bit there. Should have left that alone. That's going to be good. Done.
This is looking really good. Everything's leveled out really nice. We're not going to be touching this anymore, and this resin is really starting to kick at this point. So we're going to go for breakfast and come back in a bit. Don't run away, because in a few seconds we'll be popping this, well, for you guys, we'll be popping this shell off the roof, I hope. See you in a bit. It's been a few hours and things are no longer tacky, which is a good thing. It means everything's cured. Overall, the surface is flat, but there are a couple little air bubbles that kind of came up. Not worried about that. You're not going to see that later on. What I'm working on right now is outlining the outside perimeter, just following the green tape that we laid down. And we're going to trim away this matting that didn't absorb the resin. The reason I left it a little bit long, that side's a little bit longer than I kind of liked, but any resin that was running off the roof or could have run off the roof got absorbed into this excess material and didn't drip inside the car. So it saved us cleaning up inside. Right now, I'm going to go on to the other side, finish marking it out, and then we're going to see if we can actually pop this off. I'm kind of nervous because I'm just pulling at the edges and it's not quite coming up yet. So we'll see what happens. It's a little bit bumpy here, but that'll be probably trimmed back a lot further because the inside area of the roof is a little bit smaller than the outside. I think you already know where I'm going with that when I said that. Now you got to watch the little splinters because those little hairs of fiberglass is sticking up and you can't really slide your hand along like that. Like this. Now I could take a zip blade and try cutting it along this edge of the roof, but I could damage the surface finish that we have. So we're going to take and pop this off and cut this material when it's off the car. Okay, that should be good. I'm going to start here at the front and very gently start, oh, it's already separating. Start working it up. And hopefully we're successful in having the liner come off. I only went with 2 layers of matting. That's all you really need for a ceiling liner. It's not a structural panel. It just has to hold itself up along with the material that we put on later on. A little bit sticky, but I think that's the masking tape itself. Now, sometimes you can use compressed air and pump air underneath there and see if it comes up. Let's try that, see what happens. Look, check that out. See that moving? Very good. Wow, like magic. You can feel it sucking back down. Okay, haha, success. The power of air, amazing. You saw I started pulling it up and I was a little bit concerned that if I pulled it up and a particular area didn't want to come up, I could crack it because it is kind of thin. In this case, the air that I shot in there got distributed over the whole area and as you saw, it just climbed right up. Boom. I'm going to separate the far edge. Okay. And there we go. Nice clean roof panel, no leaks, no resin to clean up, and a release agent worked perfectly. So let's get that ceiling liner on a table and peel off the rest of that aluminum foil. All right, let's get this up on the roof. Nice and easy. It's not heavy, just awkward. And there we go. It fits like a glove Yeah, the back edge is a little bit crooked, but that's not our concern right now. What we have to make sure is that everything's laying flat, and it is. And I'm sure the question that's on everybody's mind at the moment is how we're going to get this shell to fit inside the roof. Well, it's not going to fit as it is. It's way too big. The inside surface is a lot smaller in surface area. So what we have to do is take this shell and cut it into 4 pieces. Cut it down the center and cut it through here, and then bring it together. And that'll be done on the inside of the car. And that way it'll fit. Once it's all screwed together, we'll pull it out of the car, set it up on the table, brace everything so we're not kind of sitting lopsided, because we want it to fit the same curvature. And then once all that's braced up, we'll take and resin everything back together so that we create a new shell, thereby creating the ceiling liner for the inside of the car. That's all there is to it, guys. We're going to cut this episode at this point. Thanks so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit that little bell up there. It'll give you a heads up next time we have the next video coming out. Take care, guys.